Hi, my name is Mr. Mushroom, and this is Quotes from Mr. Mushroom, episode 12. Before we get started, and you're new here, if you don't want to hear me speak, I'll put in a link in the description, and you can find my quotes there. Now, before we get started, I'll tell you how it goes. I show it to you, read it to you, explain it to you, tell you the story behind it, and what it means to me. Not in that order, that's just how I like to say it. Alright, let's get started. The true value of life lies in how much you value your own. So what this means to me is, no one can put a price on my life except me. How much value do I bring to the table? How much value do I bring in relationships, friendships, the community, the world, to myself, to others? And this means a lot of things. Is your life worth a Rolex? Is your life worth dying over one person? Is your worth more than this conversation you've had? Is your life more than this war of two old people bickering and moaning about who should gain control of the capital? Is your life worth more than this one person who doesn't even know you're here? Or is your life worth more than your dog? Or is it worth more than a couple $100s? That's what I mean. How much do you value your life? What value do you bring? Do you put a price on yourself? And the story behind it is, I've had a lot of friends come and go. Some of them, are no longer with us. And the story behind it is, I had one friend who I played football with. He was smoking weed and such, and he got into drugs. And, they were distributing them. And he got into an altercation with one of the gang members, I believe. And, he got caught up in a shootout and he died. And, his life was valued as much as the weed they were fighting over. Not saying that his life was worth weed, but at that time, the weed was more important than his life, rather than, just dropping it and going home, apologizing or whatever. And another one of my friends I played football with, we had a ceremony too for him. He rode his motorcycle around and he died in a car accident. Now, I'm not saying his life was more than that ride, but he did not make the right choices, and the cost was his life of driving recklessly. Another one of my friends is, she smoked weed and she was a nice person, but she was doing drugs, and she went to her friend's house, which she thought was a friend, and they had a party and they were smoking weed, and it turned out that the weed that they smoked was laced with other drugs in it, and she was RAPED'd and she died, and they left her body out in the front lawn, I believe, is what the story was. I don't know if that's the truth, but she did pass away, and her life was no much more of a value than that of a friend who betrayed you. Another one is, I knew a girl who was nice, kind, smart, but she didn't want to go to college, and she just thought, her high school was her domain and such. She gained a lot of attention, and she turned to prostitution, and she put her value as much as merely $500, $600, $1,000. I'm not saying her body isn't worth more. I'm not saying her body's worth less, but that's how much value she put. Is her body was that of nothing but flesh for pleasure. So, when it comes to these types of things, we have to ask ourselves, is this worth my life? Is this Bugatti worth more than my life? Is this Rolex worth more than my life? Is this argument worth more than my life? Because another scenario is, I'll give you, I was at a gas station, and this was during rough times after a hurricane, and people were fighting over gas at a gas station. And one person cut, I believe, in line, and another person was just walking in front of them. And what happened is, they both got in an argument and bickering, and one of the guys ran over the other person. Thank God he did not die, but he was gravely wounded, and they were fighting. The gasoline was worth more than their life was. That's how much they valued their life, is that much of a tank of gas, sorry. Both of them, one went to the hospital, one went to prison. And it was crazy because people were fighting, arguing, bickering, rather than knowing that their life or value was more than that of a mere argument, or more than more than a tank of gas. That's how much they valued their life. And another one, when I was in a part of town where I worked, there was a lot of, crime that happened around there. And I remember these two guys were arguing about a woman cheating on both of them, and they both got into a shootout, and one of them ended up dying. is what I heard on the news. I didn't stay long. I was out, but I know I saw those two on the news, and I realized that both of them valued their life as much as that woman cheating on them. They valued the woman higher than they valued their lives, rather than saying, hey, both of us were in the wrong. I'm sorry that you got cheated on. I didn't know. My apologies or such. It's not worth your life. But then again, the good part of it is how much you value your life. Is your life worth the adventure? Is your life worth the romance? Is your life worth the fun? Is your life worth the goal? Your life is so much more and brings so much value. You're priceless. You are one of a kind, and you can do fantastic, amazing things. You have to pay the price in order to get there. I'll say people who weren't worth anything are priceless now. The value is tremendous. It's beyond imaginable. Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Marcus Aurelius, Alexander the Great, Martin Luther King, Cleopatra. All those people did tremendous and amazing things. And most of them started off with nothing. A lot of them didn't have anything to start with, but they brought so much value in life that now their lives are priceless and they are worth more than you can ever imagine. I'm not saying money is, but I'm saying what they bring to the table is more than money can ever buy. So when we think about it, how much do you bring to the table can gravely affect your life and what it's worth. I like to say another one. J.K. Rowling with the Harry Potter series. She was living off of welfare and she was, barely eating. I think I heard in an interview that she wasn't eating because she couldn't afford it and she needed the food for her child. But now she makes millions of dollars and her value increased because she brought joy and a lot of childhood memories to children. So is your life worth that, or is your life worth this? Meaning that, is your life worth that much of a Rolex, or is your life worth this much of friendship, love, relationships, whatever, community, the world? Another person that I'd like to say is Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo was poor, broke, and now he's one of the highest paid athletes alive, and he has helped communities more than he can imagine, and his value keeps increasing because he took care of his family, his friends, his community, and his value increased. And now he's a priceless person. He's worth so much than anyone could offer him. And even if you don't have that much money, your worth is so much more than someone can ask you. So if someone tells you to do something for a mere $1,000, is your life worth that? Do you value that money over your own life? Do you value that something over your own life? And another thing is I'd like to say is how much other people, you have to also think of how much other people value your life, because not everybody's going to value your life the same way you do, and you have to realize that some people are there to hurt you, others are there to help you, and you can do the same thing. You can be there to help someone, or you can be there to hurt someone. How much do you value your friend's life, a stranger's life? Are you willing to help them, or are you willing to hurt them? And I say this because another one of my friends, he was in another gang, and the people he affiliated with and talked to were only using him. And they wanted him to take him to somewhere so they can gun him down and kill him because he was part of a rival gang. So they used him, and they weren't They weren't there to help him. They were there to hurt him. And unfortunately, he lost his life. But then again, another one of my friends, he was over there creating an invention for the hospital to help others. And, his value towards them was that to help others. So what can we do with our lives in order to increase or decrease our value in life? Because I hate to say it, but people are going to value your life different from their own. They're going to put a price on your life, and you're going to put a price on yours. And sometimes it aligns, and sometimes it doesn't align. So how much do you value your own life? What kind of price are you putting on your life? I like to say this. This is another thing is the value of your life depends on what you have, and I'm not in what you can give. Because at the end of the day, when you die, you can't take your things from this world to the next if you believe in the next, or you just believe that everything just falls flatline into the dark. You can't take any of that. But what you can give is memories, advice, stories, love, and all your belongings to the people that weren't so important to you. Because at the end of the day, when you die, your value is as much as the ground and the dirt. But your value on how others see you as will be priceless, and they will hold on to those memories of you and cherish the advice or cherish the memories and spread your word and take your advice in all things that you brought value and that you gave to them. So remember, I'll read it one more time, and that'll be it. The true value of life lies in how much you value your own. Well, that's all I got for today. I just want to say thank you for joining me with quotes from Mr. Mushroom. And if you guys have quotes yourself, leave them in the comment sections. I'd love to read them. And, if this is the content you're looking for, like and subscribe. And if you're a friend or a person you know that needs to hear this, share it with them. I always say, share it with a friend, share it with anybody, share it with a stranger, or share it with a rock. It don't matter. Well, that's all I got for today. And I'll see you guys next time. All right, enjoy the rest of your day. All right, bye.